Alright, so we got some parts in for the D3 from Asia Tees. Took it for a quick lap the other day and noticed that the countersteer is a little bit too wild for myself, so I went with a 28 tooth pulley. Should give me a 1.2 ratio. And here's a ultra wide angle CVDs, which I'm going to need, and a belt tensioner. So playing around with pulleys and belts, might need a tensioner. But we're going to crack off the body here and show you what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a tight fit if it does fit, but we're going to be looking at replacing that rear pulley with the 28th tooth. And as you can see here, I do a little tape test. But the counter steer for myself, anyways, was a little bit much. So there you go. One turn to the back, and we're only about like half on the front here. So we get a full two and a little bit to have that front wheel do one full turn, and this is two and a bit. So I'm going to dial that down for my style driving, anyways. All right, so get started here. So I'm going to have two screws on this side here, which are holding that bracket, as well as two more underneath. Now, on the opposite side, pulley shaft. We're good to drop that and remove it. As I can tell already, it's not going to happen with the 20 tooth pulley. So we're going to remove the rear one going to the rear diff, which ends up being two grub screws, and replace it with the 18 tooth. So that's going to give us a 1.7 ratio until I can find a proper belt. And I do want to drop it down to 1.2. Right, so reassembly, get the belts lined up, back into the mounting brace, reassemble the mounting brace on the opposite side, screw on this side, screw on the other. Alright, so I don't have to worry about the belts falling apart now. Last one in the top of the bracket, two underneath. And we've effectively lowered the counter steering to 1.74 from 2.14. Alright, so play around with tension of that later. For now, I get cracking on the CVDs. Get the tire off. And here we have the ball end, which is holding the top of the C-hub. As always, I should have dug in the toolbox and got the proper wrench, but I figured I'd just manhandle it with the pliers. Took that much more time. But now we got it. Alright, so another screw at the bottom is going to release a steering knuckle. And once that's done, CVD comes out. Replace the bearing with the one that's included in the package. It's a tad bit shorter. And there you go. You can see that a lot more angle in the new ones. Reinsert. Make sure that the end of the CVD is in the diff cup. And just reassemble that ball end. I snap on the links at the top, keeps everything lined up, because that CVD likes to fall out from the diff cup when you move around. And finally, a screw underneath. Secure that steering knuckle. Alright, so get the tire on and show you what kind of angle we get. Alright, so we're on full lock, very smooth, no issues. Stock ones I had to trim down, they are tuned down the steering, should I say. As you can tell, they would have destroyed them pretty quick. The steering's pretty extreme on this, 55 degrees if I'm not mistaken. So we have no issues with that, tons of steering. And Now I'm going to do the tape test again so we get a good look at the countersteer ratios. Hoping that 1.7 from the 2.4 or 2.14 makes a difference. All right, keep our fingers crossed. Looking good already. So full turn of the front with 1 and about half as much as last time on the second turn. Yes, that wasn't the best explanation, but ultimately, you've seen. So now, test it out and see if I can keep it sideways, but without losing control. So guys, thanks for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe.